Hi, it's Allannah. Welcome back to YogaYin and thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to take you through a sequence today for egg quality. These are usually the most popular of my Yoga for Fertility videos. This time it's for a student who did have IVF and retrieved 8 eggs, but only 2 of those eggs were viable. So we're going to work on egg quality for her. She's got a few things going on. She's got a bit of stagnation going on in the uterus. She's not getting a full period flow. She's also got a retro-tilted uterus, which can make it more difficult with fertility. So we're going to try and improve that for her as well. She's also got a lot of tightness in the hips, so this sequence is going to work a lot with the hips, and her stress levels are high. So we're going to work on bringing those stress levels down and bringing her back to a state of peace and calm. So I hope you enjoy it. Please do let me know. I really love your feedback. Keep it coming and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Namaste. Okay, so for this sequence we're going to start by lying on our belly, and the purpose of that is to get the breath going right down into the belly. So I want you to place a pillow at the end of your mat, towards the end of your mat, and then when you're ready I want you to lie yourself down prone on the belly, and then gently just fold the forearms and rest the head. Get nice. And I want you to focus your breath down into the belly. So that you can feel the belly push against the mat as you inhale. And as you exhale, belly gently comes back. See if you can feel the breath coming all the way down. Start to make your exhalation a little longer, a little deeper. With each round of breath. This allows our nervous system to calm right down, which in turn enables our endocrine or hormonal system to readjust and balance itself. Few more deep breaths here. And then reluctantly just raise your head and remove your pillow. We're going to come back to kneeling at the back of our mat. Okay, so I want you kneeling, shoulders back. And then when you're ready, you're just going to raise your arms up and over your head, and we're going to fold forward into pose of a child with the knees together at first. Resting the belly on the tops of the legs, and again using this position to breathe down deep into the belly, lowering the forehead towards the mat. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. And then slide into a cat. Take the knees hip distance apart. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Inner elbows turn toward one another. And then inhale, raise through the body. And exhale and curl. Inhaling to raise. Exhaling to just curl. Try not to dip too much through your lower back. Feeling into the spine. One more. And really drop that head, ears alongside the arms. Arch the spine. Come back to a neutral pose. Step your hands forward, come up into a downward dog, curling the toes under. Coming up onto the toes, dropping the knees towards the mat so the shins are parallel, and then lifting up through your hips. Sinking your heels down and walking through. One leg at a time. Releasing the heels, releasing off the backs of the calves, working into the kidney meridian, which runs down the center of the backs of the legs. Sink your heels down here, and then raise your right leg in the air. Bend the right knee, bring it through to your right wrist. Slide your back leg down. We're going to come into King Pigeon pose. So if this is enough for you, I want you to stay here and just focus on easing the pelvis out. If you would like to, stretch your arms forward, rest your head. 5 deep breaths here. One more breath. And then walk your hands back in, curl your back toe, step back to downward dog, continue to walk through your feet, allowing the chi or the energy or prana to keep flowing through the body, encouraging a flow. Inhale and exhale, sink the heels down. Step your right hand over to your left. Step your right foot around your right hand. Might take you a couple of goes to get there. Bend your back knee, uncurl the toe, and either stay here, looking forward, or if the availability is there, come down onto your forearms, lizard lunge. Make sure this leg doesn't splay out to the side. Keep it tightly hugged into the body. 2 more deep breaths. And then come back up. Curl your back toe, step back to downward dog. Keep walking through the feet. Should be feeling the backs of the legs start to ease off a little. Inhale and exhale, sink your heels down. Raise your left leg. Take your knee through to the wrist. Slide your back leg down and either keep it here looking straight ahead or lower the body. One more breath. And then walk your hands back up. Step back, walk through your feet. So we're not holding any position for too long because we're simply trying to encourage that flow. Inhale and exhale, sink your heels down. Step your left hand over to your right. Step your left foot around your left hand. Drop your back leg. Uncurl your toe. And then either just looking straight ahead or coming down onto the forearms. One more breath. And then curl your toe. Step back to downward dog. Walk through your feet. And then inhale and exhale. Sink your heels down. We're going to take 5 deep breaths in downward dog, allowing downward dog to rebalance the whole of the endocrine system. Beautiful. Up onto the toes, knees back down to the mat, uncurl the toes, step the hands underneath the shoulders, back into cat. This time we're going to take the knees a little bit wider than the hips and we're going to practice sexy cat. So I want you to circle the buttocks first of all in one direction. Make sure you're not moving back and forth, but actually just isolating the pelvic area. And of course, sexy cat, very good for getting the flow going in the uterus. Also very good for lumbar spine pain and hip tightness. And then when you're ready, I want you to counteract your natural tendency and circle in the other direction. And you can slow it down as much as you like. Really feel into that pelvic area. Good. And then come back to a neutral pose. Keep your knees out to the side now. And we're going to come back into Balasana. Now you can either stretch your arms forward and drop your head, or you can take your arms back beside the body because we're going to rest here. Or you can use your pillow. And again, just rest. Bring the buttocks back to the heels. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Now, if you are lying with your head turned to one side when we're on the belly, you might like to turn it to the other side now, just to balance out the neck. I want you to breathe down into the belly. Let the belly be absolutely free. So if you have a natural tendency to suck your belly in, let it go now. Few more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, raise the head. Remove your pillow if you have one. Stretch your arms out if you haven't already. Drop your forehead down. And then gently walk your hands back up to your knees and stretch your legs all the way out in front of you. Now we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, or full Western stretch, and you might find it a little easier if you have a blanket or a flat pillow to just pop it under your buttocks for this one. Just tends to tilt your pelvis forward, which can make it easier to come into this pose. If you have any lumbar spine issues, I want you to bend up your knees here. This is a really, really good pose for egg quality. So what I want you to do is sit up nice and straight in Dandasana. And then raise your arms. Deep breath in, and then exhale, fold forward. Now we've been doing a lot of work on the legs, so there should be a little bit more ease in the legs than there are naturally. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, I want you to gently come forward as far as you can. And we're going to use your breath to relax you in this pose. So with each exhalation, I want you to gently ease a little more into the pose. One more deep breath. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Take your hands behind you, fingertips in towards the body. Simply open up your chest and drop your head, counteracting that forward bend with a back bend. Couple of deep breaths here. Point your toes. And then come back up to center. Remove your blanket or pillow. Roll down onto the back. Hug the knees into the belly. Good. And we're just going to release off that lower back. Beautiful. Hands over the knees and then small circles on the lower spine. Again, working into the pelvis. Encouraging this area to flow freely. And then just reversing those circles. Coming back to center, sliding your hands down to your ankles and placing one foot and then the other on the floor, walking them up nice and close to the backs. We're going to practice Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose, which is excellent for egg quality. So what I want you to do is keep the arms nice and long beside your body. I'm going to inhale and we're just going to gently tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lower it back down very subtly. Inhaling to raise. Exhaling to lower. And now coming up through the spine. Exhaling to lower down vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly, mindfully. And this time coming up so the back of the shoulders, the neck and the head are on the mat. And exhale, release it down. Good. This time we're going to come up and we're going to hold Setu Bandhasana. So I'll give you a number of options here. Inhale, raise the pelvis, coming up. And you can either stay here for 5 deep breaths if that's comfortable for you. Or if you wish to, you can come up onto your shoulder blades and interlace the fingers. Or you can bend the elbows and support your spine, as I like to do, and come up on your toes, completely up to you. Whatever you do, we're going to hold it now for 5 deep breaths. One more. Excellent. And then release your arms, release your shoulders, lower the spine all the way back down and hug the knees into the belly. Now, Setu Bandhasana is a great preparation for another fantastic egg quality pose, which is shoulder stand. So, now I don't want you to practice Savangasana shoulder stand if you have your period, if you have any neck issues, or if you have any eye issues. What I want you to do now is to take your blanket, and we're going to aim to have our neck and our head off this blanket. It's just going to support us in shoulder stand. So I want you to lie down with your neck and your head off the mat, but your shoulders supported. Arms along the side of the body. And then when you're ready, bend up your knees. And then gently take your legs up and over. I'm going to cheat and use the wall here. Bring your elbows together, support your lower spine, and then raise your legs either to half, if that's more comfortable, or full shoulder stand. And then gently release it, bend the knees, and if it's available to you, you can straighten out your legs, come up into your shoulder blades, and just interlace the fingers in Halasana, plow pose. And then I want you to release your body easily, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way back down to your mat. Remove your blanket and lie in full Shavasana. For a few deep breaths. Just allow your body to incorporate the benefits of Shavasana. Calming the nervous system right down. And working on the hypothalamus in the brain. When you're ready, we're going to come into Viparita Karani, the legs up the wall. So, to come into Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, come in from a side angle, buttocks against the wall, and then raise your legs all the way up the wall. And I just like to have a little blanket supporting my head. Beautiful. I want you to bring the tips of your thumbs and tips of your fingers together. Breathing down deep into the belly. And for egg quality, we want to have the feet together, the blood coming all the way back from the legs into the belly, nourishing the uterus, nourishing the ovaries. Focus on making that connection with your womb. It should be feeling nice and warm under your hands. For my student who specifically liked Baddha Konasana, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out to the side, and practice it against the wall. Pressing the knees towards the wall. One more deep breath. And then gently extend the legs once more. You can stay up here, and you can stay up here for another 10 minutes if you wish, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to bend the knees gently, roll off to one side, and make our way back to the mat. Beautiful. Sitting in a very comfortable position now, bringing the tips of the thumbs and the forefingers together, palms facing down. Breathing down into the belly, letting the belly be nice and free. Just reflecting on how you may feel differently at the end of the class than you did at the beginning. Taking this sense of peace and calm through with you into the rest of your week, into the rest of your day. When you're ready, I want you to bring your palms together at Namaskar Mudra, prayer pose at the heart. And bring the hands to the forehead for clarity of thought and an open mind. And to the lips for clarity of speech and kind speech. And the heart for an open heart. Om Shanti. Om Peace. Namaste. So that is our sequence for egg quality and for increasing period flow, getting rid of stagnation in the uterus. Hopefully also working and adjusting the tilt of the uterus as well. We've worked very much in a flowing fashion, in a moon salutation, which is a bit gentler than our sun salutation. So we've worked very much with flow, but we've also had some moments of stillness as well, which is going to be great for calming down the mind and calming down stress, just bringing a sense of peace and a feeling of whatever will be, will be. So I hope you enjoy it. Namaste.